Hey everybody, I'm Greg Sowell and this is Why Am I, a podcast where I talk to interesting people and try and trace a path to where they find themselves today. My guest this go around is Morten Wulff. He's playing through life on his bike, trying to find his true identity, but truly, I think that identity is chef. He's built and refined his bike that is also a kitchen for 20 years. He takes guests on bike tours of Copenhagen, but it's not just a tour of the city. It's also a tour of culinary delights as he cooks and serves 5 courses over 4.5 hours. Sounds incredible. I can only imagine what it would be like to share this cooking experience with someone who so obviously loves sharing his gift with others. I hope you enjoy this conversation with Morten. Morten Wulff, thank you for joining me on the Why Am I podcast.
Thanks for having me.
All right, how close was I on that name pronunciation?
Pretty close. Morten Wulff.
Morten Wulff. All right. As close as an American can probably get. Is that the idea?
Well done.
Excellent. Well, I think all the listeners can tell by your accent you're from Kentucky, right?
Yeah, sure. A bit more east, I would say, or maybe on the other side of the planet. I actually don't know where the other side of the planet is from Kentucky, but we are in Europe, and we are north of Europe. We are in Copenhagen, Denmark.
Copenhagen, Denmark. All right. Well, we are in Copenhagen, Denmark, and we are at a farmer's market, and we see a variety of carrots in front of us, small and big, and we strike up a conversation as we're looking at this. We talk about me really quick, and I am boring, so we get through that very fast. And now it's your turn to reciprocate. So, Morten, who are you?
Yes, I'm a man. I was about to say a young man, but I'm actually not young anymore. I'm 53, and I'm playing through life on a bicycle with my profession as a chef. So I call myself in Danish cykelkokken, which directly translated to English is the bicycle chef. So yes, that's who I am.
I like you start with man. I kind of like the simplicity of that. Like I'm a person. I'm a human first, and then I move through everything else. Do you feel old when you say 53? Because that doesn't feel that old to me.
Well, how old are you?
41.
Are you also? Okay. Yeah, I am. But yeah, I'm a bit older than you, and maybe maybe I'm there where you start thinking a little bit about your age, and not only that you are a young man. But it's a cliche that you feel young all your life. But I think I'm maybe in a moment right now where I'm touching my year base. How do you say my year? Trying to I'm trying to find out where I am, and I've been playing around many years as a young chef, trying to find my true identity. And I'm a big cargo bicycle enthusiast. I love cargo bikes and what they can do. And then I love to cook outdoor. So this combination of being able to move with a lot of goods and together with I have a twisted mind that I love to find new solutions, and I love to and all this attention has fallen on my cargo bikes. So I've been the last 20 years constructing kitchens on my several bicycles. So yes, that's what I have been doing a while, and probably will be doing for a while to come also.
That's awesome. And so before I had met you, the concept of a cargo bike didn't exist in my world. Like I didn't know what that was.
Mm.
And so I started looking more into it. Is that, well, I mean, here in the States, we don't do a lot of bicycle transit. Like most people don't ride bikes very often. And a lot of us, especially where I live, kind of in Texas in the South, everything is so spread out that you quite literally couldn't get anywhere on a bike. Like it would take you too long. So that's biking is much more part of the culture over there, right?
Yeah. We have at least one bike each, and now I live in Copenhagen, and it's a flat city. It's a not too weird. There's around 1 million residents here, and so you can imagine the size. It's a suburb to maybe one of the big cities around the US. But it's flat, and the infrastructure has been the last 100 years has been bike friendly. The infrastructure has been bike friendly. Because the bike and the cargo bike has been used as one of the main transportations in Copenhagen and Denmark and Northern Europe, and this is a part of the Danish Scandinavian culture to use and especially in Copenhagen, we that is our transportation. We don't take the bus, or we can. Some take the bus, but it's the most smart form of transportation in Copenhagen. It's to jump on your bike, and you're from A to B in a matter of no time, without any traffic jam, without any. And there's a lot of advantages. I don't see a lot of disadvantages, because you were mentioning the cargo bike, and there's like thousands of cargo bikes in Copenhagen. And if you are a family, for example, of a young couple, and you're getting kids, and the first thing you get is your cargo bike, because it makes life so much simple, instead of a carriage into the bus or into the metro, or you just throw your kid in front of the cargo bike in the carriage. You just fit it in, and then you are off, and you can use it as your carriage, and you can do your shopping, and you can go buy some plants. You can actually move. I've been moving several times. My whole apartment when I was younger, living smaller than I do now. All furniture fit on a cargo bike. You just have to pack it smart. Of course, a big piano is maybe difficult, but most of the daily tables and beds and chairs and kitchen equipment, it's just a matter of packing it smart, and then so it's a big part of our mobility and our daily life. We get this like maybe you also can get with a car. I don't know, this personal, you can like personalize your bicycle, and if somebody touched it, or if somebody had moved it a meter, then you get a little bit offended that somebody has been touching my bicycle. And then it's just a bicycle. I mean, it's two set of wheels and a steer and a chain. But no, it's it builds up a lot of it. You build up a lot of adventures with your bicycle. It's been helping you through life, and yeah. So
you say chef on a bike, and you're talking about this cargo bike. So looking at pictures of cargo bikes, I noticed that the backside looks like a standard bike, but then when it gets to the front wheel, at least some of the ones I saw, it's like it's almost like a plank that goes forward, maybe a meter, maybe a yard, something like that, and then the front wheel exists there. So it's kind of this extra space you have in the front end. You have turned yours into, I mean, like a mobile kitchen, right?
Yeah.
And it looks very sleek and streamlined. It looks really awesome. Like when it's moving and then it transforms, which I think is like so phenomenal. But the way you must have to think, like, how much time did you put into designing it to have everything fit together just so?
20 years.
20 years. Okay.
Yeah, oh, not quite, because the first bicycle kitchen was constructed. I designed it for my old cargo bike, old vintage. We call them long johns, which is an old nickname for this type of cargo bike, the black one. I think you know it. But that one I designed together with a carpenter friend. We constructed we transformed it into a kitchen, and that was heavy, and that was made out of wood, and it's more similar to a household kitchen with drawers, and it was like a household stove on with four burners, gas burners, and there was a small sink and stuff. But these since then, and that was when I was a young guy, you know, in '02. Now we are in 22, and now like 5 years ago, I bought my first modern long john called a Bullet, and that one I then challenged. It's much more mobile, it's much lighter. And I wanted to design the perfect kitchen bicycle that was like designed to fit all standard kitchen elements. So it so from professional kitchens, I can now take, we call them gastronomes, which are like square stuffs, but it's like a standard measurement, and they all fits into my kitchen, which so we have I have moved from this fantasy bicycle, which the first one was that I made on the old cargo bike, to something very modular, very effective, and is easy to clean, and it's light, and like you say, it's like foldable, so it can transform when we hit the different locations.
So take me back just a little bit. Were you classically trained as a chef? Were you working in kitchens first?
Yeah, I was trained in a fish restaurant, of course, back in the 80s, and was trained at that time in Denmark. You took like an apprenticeship. You are like in master learning. You had a master, a restaurant that took you in like 3-4 years, and then they, together with some schooling, gave you this chef background, and so I worked in Danish hotels, and then I went to London and worked at the Savoy I wanted to try the best, and in the 80s, 90s, it was the hotels where you found the best chefs and the best food, fine dining wise. And then I went to Geneva after, and then I came back and wanted to work at a Danish hotel again. I thought, now all that bad language in London or in Geneva, let's go back to Copenhagen. I'm sure I'll get a good career. The mentality but it was the same. They called me all kinds. I would bullet from the start. No, but it was just like, it was not that. It was so I really tried to find alternative ways of cooking nice food, and I think I really missed the thing of cooking for and with people, and so I found some jobs in culture houses and culture schools where I got very close to the food and to the people, and then my bicycle and all some, and then all of a sudden my restaurant became not a restaurant but a bicycle with a kitchen and mobile mini restaurant. So that's the short story.
Did people think you were a little bit crazy at first?
Yeah, but I don't think they thought it was like I think everybody could see and have. I hope that's what I feel and what I hear is that it's been an inspiring journey from then to now. It has never been like trying to do something that to get attention. It was more like I really needed some kind of I really would like to use my bike as a platform for my skills from the kitchen. I wanted to put these two things together. And one thing, of course I wanted, but it was also something that came like automatically. I needed this tool, and I've had a lot of work and fantastic experiences after it like came to life, and this, I think people thought it was very weird. But I think a lot of people have been like seeing it as a very inspiring project to follow.
Absolutely. Well, something you said there stood out to me, that you've always enjoyed cooking with and for people, and it seems like the format you're in. I mean, it's literally. I'm not going to say a small bike because it's actually a large bike, but it's a small kitchen, a very small kitchen,
yeah.
and whenever you're cooking for and with people, they are right there. So I was imagining myself, I guess traditionally you would be locked away in a kitchen, a very busy kitchen where there's just high levels of activity, and you're so far removed from the customer. You don't get that high touch, that experience. So if they truly enjoy your food, you don't get to see that. You don't get to hear them and talk with them. And this seems like it would marry all of that together. Like you would literally. I mean, this is me dreaming. I'm assuming like you have conversations with people while you're preparing these meals and talking about what you're doing and explaining the things, and then you truly get to see them enjoy it, in real time. And is that a big part of the fulfillment for you?
Yeah, it's a part of the format. It's a big part of the format, but I must say that it's all a part of a journey that we do together. We are on a ride. We are on a journey, and just jumping on your bike and doing a ride in Copenhagen is an adventure in itself. And but bringing a kitchen and 5 courses that you would like to cook on the way, it gives some natural pauses. I would like in my fantasy restaurant, you change setting with each course. So this fantasy menu that we've been talking about before would fit also fine on my kitchen, and I would like if for example the maritime dishes, it would be nice to go to the lake or to the actual fisherman where we bought it and eat it there, or even buy the oysters and bring them to the kitchen and pop them and season them, and going to enjoying the ingredients where they came from. That, and I think that's very modern nowadays. It was very unmodern. It was very new when I started doing 20 years ago. This urge to go to. I mean, so I think it's fantastic there's different fantastic things around this. You have the whole social dining experience with the food, the chef. You can ask him, what are you doing now? And I love that. And what happens if we do like that? Or we can try, and all this open kitchen masterclass kind of thing is fantastic. But we can then We can then fold it down in 2 minutes and then jump on our bikes, and then we are in a totally different part of the city, totally different atmosphere. And then I might be, but we need to go because this next dish I would like to serve that by a lake or in a park, or actually this dish is for a special monument or a house, or a special. So I also try to compose the dishes to the different location that I would like to visit on the way. And so, but so yeah.
That's fascinating to me. Like the idea of, because I had in my head, I envisioned you go someplace, you eat the meal and then you leave, but you're actually, you're almost custom tailoring each portion of the meal to the environment you find yourself in. And I never thought about how the environment can affect your enjoyment of not even just a meal, but every course. So it's like the entirety of the meal. Like you were talking about all the summers, like, or rather not summers, all of the seasons of a meal. And so this is almost like you're building like this interesting experience where it changes from place to place. And I had never thought about the environment affecting the way I enjoy something before. That's super interesting. And the fact that you could change it so drastically.
Yeah. And what changes around you. I mean, we in a normal restaurant, and you are like in a secure environment. You can it's controllable by the chef and the waiters. I mean, they can like control the evening, but when you are biking around in the city, you never know what you meet around the corner. And it can be, you can like meet something where you're like, let's bike a little bit further because let's turn the next page. Let's turn the page and see what happens further on. I'm sure that, or you can like hit the brakes saying, okay, this is fantastic. Normally I don't experience this. And what is that harm or whatever ambience is or you as the cykelkokken or as the bicycle chef, you have like the power to control the adventure, or the power, the creativity, to take some decisions to find maybe I let myself be very inspired, and it's very loose concept. So if I get inspired or motivated to turn another corner that I had been in planned, then I do that and make the randomness also have a big play in these tours. So as long as the mission is to go from A to B, like the circle on the tour, and whatever happens on the way is part of the menu.
That's it. And it sounds like no two experiences are ever the same. So no two meals are ever the same. And I guess that also keeps it interesting for you. I mean, it's not the same mundane thing. It could be entirely different every time, and you have to have a lot of improvisation to be ready to pivot, think on your feet. I love that.
The ingredients might some days be the same, but the menu can. I mean, I can swap the dishes. I can play. I can. That's not a fixed menu. There's ingredients. There's a kitchen. There's a chef, and then there's the guest, and then let's get the ultimate out of that situation. And but if we want to play with the ingredients and mix the courses, then we do that. It's
like in my head, it sounds like all of this together. It sounds like you're less of a chef and more of like a jazz musician, where you maybe kind of have a theme, but every performance is entirely different, and it depends on mood or environment. That's so cool.
Exactly.
That's so it's such an interesting concept. So it's like, even for not just for you, but for your guests, I mean, they could probably come, every 2 weeks or every month, and it would feel different. It'd feel like a different experience. I'm
Totally.
assuming you rotate your menu seasonally and things like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that is so cool.
And we also, if we find an ingredients on the way, then we pick them up. And am I frozen? I'm frozen on my screen. No,
Yeah,
never mind. Uh, but yeah, we have some nice some nice woods. How you say, some nice green areas just close to to uh, to uh, to center of Copenhagen. And someday, if it's season with blackberries, then we go and pick blackberries. And yeah.
that's cool. So, do you think that this is like one of the better ways to experience a city? You know, like its food, its culture, its history, things like that.
Yes, I really uh, I really enjoy, especially the Copenhagen history. Also, when it comes to food and old techniques of preserving and spicing up stuff. And so so yes, I do like the history of the city and the culinary history,
Mm.
and try to put that into the menu also.
Yeah, I was reading that. I try to do a little research ahead of time when I can.
Mm,
That you
mm.
oftentimes will source a lot of your ingredients locally. So does that, I mean, kind of preservation of history, locally sourced ingredients, like is that kind of
Yeah,
like preserving the culture maybe, or keeping that kind of history alive? Is that the angle that you
yeah,
take with it?
yeah. The ingredients are um, I mean, all local ingredients when it comes to fish and green vegetables. And all my ingredients are like as much as I can get them locally, I do that. And of course organic, and even better if it's from for small entrepreneur farms, city farms, or country farms. And then I really like to talk about where my ingredients are from, and how smart they are produced with as less a footprint, as sustainable produced as possible. Is a big part of this. and 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 if we can have if there's possibilities of visiting maybe a mushroom farm, or a goat milk producer, if and then I really would like to include that visit in the tour. So we also sometimes have guest speakers on the tour. And
Oh, that's
then
cool.
and that's also when it comes to architecture or art. Or sometimes we go past interesting people, and hear their story. And so it's a journey around Copenhagen of what happens of interesting stuff when it comes to food and art and music and architecture,
Mm.
urban living, urban culture, bicycle culture. Yeah, all this is it's a natural part of the story.
Sounds like you take an incredible amount of pride in your city, I guess, in your kind of your heritage and
Mm,
culture. And I mean, is part of this encouraging others to like dig in? Because you know, I've noticed, at least here, well, here in the U.S., there's not a lot of history, right? We haven't
mm,
existed really that long,
mm,
but
mm,
I've noticed the history that is here. A lot of people are blind to it, or just never introduced to it, right? And it just takes
mm,
somebody to kind of open their eyes. And like, to me, it fascinates me. It almost excites me sometimes, or actually it
mm.
does excite me sometimes. And
Yeah.
is that, do you feel like that's kind of part of your mission to
Yes.
reintroduce people?
Yes. Yes. I think yes. A big part of the mission is to look back. And a lot of things are already invented or tested out. And and I think there's a lot of inspiration when you look back, and there's a lot of interesting history, and but and then trying to combine it with smart innovation when it comes to sustainable living. I think that combination is interesting and very, very visually also displayed when you bike around Copenhagen and meeting people, cooking on a innovative way on the bicycle, looking for interesting stories and interesting people that might have found a new way of producing or living in an interesting way, in a more sustainable city way. Yes, so I think it is it's a journey. It's wellness. I mean, it's a pleasure ride. But it's also hopefully an educationally journey where you get more from this experience than just good taste, but you also get some you're stimulated. Maybe also your intellect has been fed somehow.
I hear you mention having things be sustainable a lot. Is that something that's been important to you for a really long time? Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, that's actually all the way back to when I was a teenager, giving out flyers, Greenpeace flyers in my neighborhood, and so yes, I am. I think I got the whole living with less and thinking. Yeah, I don't know, but yes, it has been following me all the way, and I also think that's part of why I find the bicycle a natural transportation for me.
It all kind of goes hand in hand then, or it feels like it does. Yeah, I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was also thinking about, because I was trying to imagine myself like in like this very, like this bike that's also a kitchen, and I would assume you have to be extremely organized to be able to do this. I mean, because it seems like it's have you always been a very organized person? It sounds like you said you've moved apartments a couple of times just using a bike, so I'm guessing you live pretty light. So I would think you'd have to be very very resourceful when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, and so one thing, of course, not trying to spend too many. I mean, trying not to spend too many resources, money is of course a part of the game, but it has like a double profit, that you also feel that you do something good for the planet also, by doing by just spending less is less demanding on something. So I think that mentality have followed me since I was young, and which now I also feel is a good showcase for others now that would like to maybe turn a little bit around and to see how can you be inspired to gain more out of less, or gain something out of less.
Yeah. Well, there's an old saying, without constraints there is no creativity, and so it sounds like the size you have to work in definitely is a constraint, and probably what you could carry along with you. Has there ever been a meal that you like wanted to create or whatever, but you just didn't have the space or the tools available, or have you always kind of like figured out a way to make it work?
Uh, I don't think I ever on these bikes have been like I would like to do this meal. I'm more like into what is possible to cook on the bike, and not look to what I would like, but more like how can we make it do something more some uh, it's got its burner, it's got its gas burner. I got my pots and pans, and I am recently begin. I have found a technique now to smoke my ingredients while I bike. Um, I can also fry and cook things while I bike, and there's some, but that I think if we shall talk about something that's a little bit that some might say that's a little bit crazy, then it's my passion of biking and cooking at the same time. And I have really difficulties in explaining why I really like that. But I think it can be maybe compared a little bit that you're like when you're like cooking on a boat, or uh, maybe some people have tried it in an auto camper or something, while you're like moving and cooking at the same time. There's something thrilling that you're like somebody is taking you somewhere, and you're like having this, and you can like shape something at the same time that can be like enjoyed fresh when you arrive somewhere. And so but I have really difficulties in explaining why it gives me that thrill to cook while I bike, but I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it sounds like an exciting challenge.
Yes, and my customers and the city, they love it when I fry and spread smells of fried fish or whatever through the streets. It really it creates people are very happy, and in on my concept, people are like following me as like I'm a locomotive. The kitchen is like in front of the group, so when I'm cooking, then they have the pleasure of smelling the dishes behind me on the tail. So, and that is really. I really hear that people, they really enjoy this. It's like when you're in a normal kitchen, and somebody's starting cooking something for you, and you can smell it, and that's like a thrill starter or a appetizer. That the smell is often a kickstarter for a lot of meals.
I love it. I love it. So how long does a trip usually last? Like one of the tours,
Yeah,
the meals, all of it together?
yeah. These five stops that I serve my dishes. It's 4.5 hours. Then we are through the tour, and back again.
So
And
you
that
end up in the
is
same spot you started from?
Yeah. I got one location that I always start my tours. It's from my prep kitchen, my garage in the meatpacking district, and then I would like to go to our small venue that we have by the harbor. It's a small something called Bar. It's a small 20 feet ship container that has been designed as a mini restaurant, and this is our B plan. So if the weather's not as beautiful as it is today, then we can like seek cover there. We can shorten the tour, and in that way I insist on serving dishes outdoor, and my guests, they are forced to even in rainy weather to enjoy some food outdoor. But I also don't want people to get cold or wet. It's so we have this B plan, this small place that we can see cover if the day is not as nice as yeah. It is a yeah, it's important that my guests, they feel comfortable all the way, and yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Mhm.
Do you, something else that pops in my head is, do you have like a favorite meal that feels like, or maybe a favorite dish that feels like
Mm.
this is very representative of Denmark or Copenhagen that you like to serve your guests?
Yes, as the thing that I really enjoy to bring fish along on my tours. Shellfish and fish is very traditional, a very traditional ingredients, and the way I serve it and plate it and is can be somehow similar to a traditional way of cooking fish with the so if there should be a resemblance, then I think it's of course the tastes and the use of vegetables and fish, frying them, and with the sauce and the plating that I think resemble to the Copenhagen Nordic cuisine.
Mm. Yeah. So is that pretty traditional for you guys out there to eat a lot of seafood?
Yeah, it is. A lot of fish, a lot of cod fish, a lot of herrings, mackerel. I would not say that we have been eating that much lobster, but more like shrimps and fjord shrimps. That is, and fish roe is also a big part of what I've been raised on. And then, no, I don't serve a lot of animal meat. My ingredients comes from the vegetable. I mean, from fields and from the sea. That's my main ingredients.
Mm. Let's see. So you also earlier, just to kind of bring it home, you said you do a lot of playing through life. And you're still trying to find your true identity. You don't feel like bicycle chef is your true identity, your final form? What do you think it will be if that's not it?
No, but it is. I think but maybe that's a part of this turning 53. I mean, I think it's some kind of a turn where you're like, is it called point of no return? I think 53 is point of no return. That now it's a matter of enjoying the last bit of I don't know how many years I have back as a chef, 15 years maybe, and I'm sure that it's gonna be a lot on bicycle. I have so many memories. I have so many things that I would still like to challenge the bicycle and my guests. There's so many things still to enjoy and experience that I'm not done yet as a bicycle chef. You know, as any other profession, you never really feel that you. I don't think I ever met somebody who would say I made it. I made like the perfect meal, or I made I'm doing the perfect job. And now from now, I mean, I think we all are like naturally equipped with an urge to make it better. And I can still find a lot of things that I would like to continue working on this bicycle chef project.
Yeah. I mean, and to your point, nothing's ever complete, right? You can always do something better or different or more interesting. It's the struggle. I mean, that's what we see. You know, what's so interesting is that you've been doing this for ages now, like 20 years, and just you talking about it, I could hear the excitement. I could see your body language change when you talk about it. You're still so excited by this, and I honestly, I hope that I have 20 years from now something in my life that I am still just so passionate about and excited about. It's like, that's like, if I could find that, I can't imagine having a better occupation, that one that truly excites me this way. And I have to know that all of your guests feel that, you know, it's gotta be there, man. That's gotta be so cool.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
That's fantastic.
Mm.
Well, I'll tell you what, Morten, right here at the end, one, I'd like to be respectful of people's time. So I usually like to try and end a little bit early if I can to give you some time back. But if you would like folks to interact with you out on the internet, find you in some form or fashion, how would you have them do that? What's your preferred method?
I have a lot of followers that likes to follow my life, my chef life on Instagram and Facebook. So I have these cykelkokken accounts, profiles that you guys are welcome to follow. I love to share my experience, and that is through stories or updates. But you're also welcome to visit my homepage, cykelkokken.dk, which also is tried to. There's a newsletter you also can sign up to, and then I try to give a. Of course, I try to offer some nice tours to get some jobs in, so it's my years are covered with jobs. But I also really like to because it's a small project. It's only me and some helpers, so we cannot service everybody. So a lot of people enjoy just following what we are doing. So I would be happy if there were some of you guys that would. Follow this project and let's see where we are biking to next and what kind of food and experience that we meet on the way.
And your website, so if somebody did want to book a tour with you, they do it through the website, right?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Well, I really appreciate your time. I know I had rescheduled on you once, and you're all the way across the globe from Kentucky. So I really appreciate your time and your energy, and it energizes me to see you so excited about this stuff.
Yeah. But I'm happy. Thanks for calling, and I hope you and some of the rest of your followers stay motivated and inspired to continue and use your bike, take it out of the shed and challenge yourself and the bicycle to new adventures that are just around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. And marry the things you love together.
That's
biking,
it.
cooking.
That's it.
I love
Whatever. Yes, you're totally right.
All right, let me
Greg, you're
stop
also
on this
doing
stuff.
a great job. I'm also envious, and you're talking to all kind of exciting people. I follow some of your podcasts, and it's a good. You also have a good job, man. Super. So
I'm definitely enjoying it, but I'm also a little envious of how you have the ability to meet humans in person and be able to have interesting conversations all the time. So I'm definitely we'll have a mutual envy for each other. How's that?
Yeah, that's great. That's great, Greg.